Hello, 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 everybody. How's it going? It is Matt, and it is another day. It is Sinful Sunday already. Oh my gosh, it is hard to believe it is already another day. But hopefully, I should be joined here really soon by our guest of the evening. It'll be none other than director Gabriel Jewett. I hope that he pops on here soon and we get some viewers. That would be very cool. Hey, Bill, how's it going, buddy? It's good to see you popped on. Looking forward to future review for you this week, maybe. We'll see. Hopefully, everybody's doing great out there. Let me just double check and make sure I got Gabriel sent in here real quick. Yeah, he should be able to pop on anytime he's ready. There we go. Let me just grab him in here. And it is adding. All right, here we go. There we are. The man, the myth, the legend. What is up, buddy?
It's going, man. You know how it is.
Oh yeah, yes. It's great seeing you on video instead of through chat for once.
Yeah, it's good to see you too, man.
Yeah. So tell us.
I wanted to go for like the '90s heroin addict look. So,
it's rocking, dude. I'm liking it. I got it going too with my missing chopper there. I see Dean popped on. What is up, Dean? How's it going, buddy?
Hey.
All right. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your filmography? How many films do you have? Let's go with that.
I have 3 short films at the moment. I'm trying to break into features, but obviously that's easier said than done when you really think about it. Movies fortunately cost money, and following your dreams costs a lot of money. So.
Definitely, for sure. That is a fact. That right there. What are your 3 short features or your short films that you have?
Well, one is 16, The Cult of Azazel, which is obviously like a Blair Witch ripoff, I guess. Yeah, I only wrote that one because like the original idea kind of fell through. So I was like, I'm gonna make something that feels very obviously, because found footage is easy to do as well for the most part, because you kind of just have to create the illusion that you're making a real story and not just whatever. So I mean, obviously most found footage is clearly fake, which 16 clearly is, but that's more just because it was my first short film and not because of not really a knock on the genre itself.
Exactly. And then why don't you tell us about the other film that I reviewed for you? Your second feature, I believe it is.
Marty's World was it's basically about a guy who he's down on his luck. He's obviously a loser. He's played by me, so it's kind of perfect casting at that point. And he falls in love with this girl without really knowing her because he's a stalker. And he starts sending her these tapes, because obviously I wanted to do like that those old like dating services where you would like send a tape and be like, hey, go out with me, that kind of thing. Like before we had Tinder, I wanted it to be like that. So this guy starts sending her these tapes. She's not responding, obviously, because he's a psycho. So eventually it escalates and he starts going to her house and talking to her and doing all these crazy, ridiculous things, trying to win this girl over when she's clearly not interested. So obviously it's exploring like toxic obsessions, toxic relationships, that kind of stuff, which I've always been interested in exploring because obviously that stuff is real. So, and it can be scary, especially for women. So,
Oh, definitely. That is a fact, 100% fact, especially when you put yourself out there on the the internet or anywhere near the social media, you know, you always have that risk, and it's always a scary risk.
Yeah,
That is for sure.
a beautiful thing, but it's also a horrible, disgusting, terrifying thing too, especially for my generation, because we kind of grew up with access to the internet from the start. So we didn't really have to deal with like the dial up or the all those issues. I kind of was like at 8 years old, I was going on the deepest, darkest websites. So I kind of have all that. It's not really traumatic, but it's also like it's kind of helped build my character, like knowing right from wrong,
Oh,
you know?
definitely, definitely. Yeah, I have to agree with you 100% on that. And oh, wow, we have a lot of people popping on. I am so happy to see each and every one of you. David, Bob, Austin, Katie. Oh my gosh, Dean. There's just, and Bill, we got so many people
Not it
just
much.
hopped on here. They just had to see us, you know. I guess they had to learn about Marty's World in 16. And what is your third short film that you made?
A father's remorse. It's basically it's very experimental. I wanted to do like a 70s like docudrama. That's the way I wanted to film it. Like you know that movie Grey Gardens?
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yes.
wanted to capture that kind of look of like, a 70s documentary, but obviously it's supposed to represent like a sort of a mental breakdown, so it's very experimental, very uh like you don't really see anything that's happening, you just kind of hear it.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted it to be like an auditory nightmare, like
Oh yeah.
you were looking from inside this person's brain instead of like just seeing what he's actually doing, just hearing what he did.
Oh yeah. Definitely, definitely. I really that is very cool. I read the script for it just recently, and oh my God, or for the one that you're getting ready to do,
Oh yeah.
and oh my God, yes. Whew. It's definitely some intense stuff you have coming in the future as well.
To step outside of my comfort zone, because obviously what happens is kind of extreme. It kind of borderline in that category of film, but I didn't want to like show it. I wanted to hear it because I think it'll be more effective that way. Because if you just show it, not that there's anything wrong with showing more extreme stuff, but sometimes just hearing something can really mess you up.
Oh, definitely. I 100% agree. It makes me think of there's a video online of a woman getting hit in the face with a brick that flies off of a truck, and you
I,
just hear everything. I was going to say, I'm sure you probably have seen that, and
unfortunately, I've seen
and
that. Yeah,
that is just truly heartbreaking stuff. You see nothing, but you hear it, and it's just like, oh my gosh,
yeah, like you're
wow.
through loss in real time.
Mhm. Exactly.
I
It's
kind I don't want to like exploit that, but I want to explore that.
exactly, exactly. And I appreciate the fact that you're exploring it and not exploiting it, because so many filmmakers out there, they tend to do that, and it can be kind of a Debbie Downer at times, and really bring the genre or just the community down in general.
Yeah, like the whole idea of grief is like, is he a bad person or is he a bad person that did a bad thing? You
Mhm.
know, like that's kind of what I explore. Not like, oh, he's evil or he's like Jack Torrance. Like he's a
Right.
human being who did a very, very messed up thing. And we kind of just see the aftermath and obviously the before of that.
Excellent, excellent. Now that we've talked about your films a little bit, why don't you tell us about some of the filmmakers that have inspired you for your films?
Um, Wes Craven is probably my biggest one. I love Wes Craven. Always have. Shocker, People Under the Stairs, Shocker, well, I already said that, but Nightmare on Elm Street, of course. Dario Argento is a big one. David Lynch, of course, is like probably the best filmmaker of all time. Honestly, I love his.
Amazing stuff.
Um, Joe Dante is a big one. I love Joe Dante.
No, Joe Dante is amazing. I have to agree. You're throwing out some amazing filmmakers. I got to agree. I have to agree. I see we got Josh Wilcox on here, and the maestro. Yes, yes. Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing?
What's up, man? What's up, chat?
Yeah, got all kinds of stuff on there. Yeah. Why don't you tell us about some of your favorite films then?
De Palma's Phantom of the Paradise. It's a big
Oh,
one.
okay, okay.
Harry as well from Brian. Alice, Sweet Alice, I think is one of the best horror movies ever made. Not just from the 70s, but just in general. I love that movie to death. It's
Oh,
really
it's creepy.
time, honestly. I always kind of blank when I think about that, but there's so many, you know. It's just shit, I'm trying to think. Eraserhead is definitely a
Oh,
big
nice. Good
great
stuff.
influence for grief because obviously, of course, David Lynch doesn't explicitly tell you what that movie is, but it's clearly about the fears of being a parent, or at least that's how I interpret it,
Hmm.
which is I personally experience because I mean, I'm not a parent, but I think about it a lot, and I think it's a very scary thing. I'm
Oh,
at least not ready for it yet, you know?
yes. I agree about it being a very scary thing about being a parent. I don't. I am a parent, so I don't go a day without worry about my child. So I definitely understand where you're coming from with that, and the power that it really punches with it. Oh, sorry, yeah, no French subs for you. I'm sorry, no parlez-vous français. Do you speak any French by chance, Gabriel?
No, I don't.
Darn, sorry, we tried.
Please, though.
Yes.
Good.
Um, so, why don't you tell us about some of your other future projects that you've got, maybe that you want to talk about, maybe something that we've talked about.
Yeah. Um, well, I'll mention Father Terror first, which is sort of like like obviously like a Joe Bob Briggs or Elvira kind of like TV horror host. And it's going to be 3 short films, all made by me. I'm hoping to make 9 short films and just do like a trilogy of all 9 movies edited together, you know, but we'll see if that happens. But yeah, it's basically like a sort of each movie is kind of a different style of like, obviously one explores like Satanic Panic from the 80s. One explores like the pictures on the milk cartons of like missing kids and just like homophobia and just a lot of like things that we experienced a lot then, but definitely experience now still. But just in a way, like I wanted to do movies that would make audiences of the 60s like freak out and be offended, you know, like that they would pick at that stuff, but not to the point where it's like a Serbian film, you
Right,
know.
right. The Serbian films, that's been done. Like honestly, that movie I think is hopefully people watching don't persecute me, but I think that movie is overrated as hell.
Hey, that's your opinion, man. There's nothing wrong with that.
It is what it is.
I mean, the
Uh,
chat, but
oh, definitely.
that would suck.
Oh, right.
The shit, and then the director's just talking in the comments.
Oh,
Um,
yeah,
I don't that
definitely.
movie's shit, but I do agree it is overrated. Mostly because it's like its reputation is why you watch it, and it is
Hmm.
a disturbing movie, and I think it's a powerful movie for the message, but it's just I don't know. I prefer like Haneke when it comes to stuff like that, like funny games.
Hmm.
More my speed when it comes to like disturbing movies because it's disturbing, but it's also satirical, you know, and it's also poking fun at the idea of disturbing movies. So stuff like that is what I'm into more when it comes to like extreme horror, I guess.
Right. I totally understand that, and yeah, I prefer a little more psychological from time to time, and then I guess it just varies on my mood at for the day, because I do cover some pretty gnarly stuff.
Oh, there's nothing
uh,
wrong with extreme stuff though. Like I feel like all art is valid
mhm,
as long as it's fictional. Like go for it, man. You know.
mhm.
I mean,
I have to agree. Yeah.
I watch it, but I'll support it. You know.
Mhm. Right. Exactly. Exactly. Because there's definitely films out there I'm not really jumping on to watch right away,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'll support the fact that
I'll
they did.
support that it
E-
exists, even if I don't like it. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly, exactly. All right. Well, I is there anything else that you would like to talk about before we roll on out of here? Because we've actually gone up on to 17 minutes now, and
I have
little,
two things I want to say real quick, if that's okay.
yeah, speak away. Go ahead. The platform's yours.
Okay. The next movie I'm hoping is Public Access, which the guy I'm talking to right now might have a role in, by the way. It's a anthology film, sort of like public access television, like different channels, that kind of thing, of like weird. It's not 100% a horror movie, but it's definitely horror vibes. And I'm hoping to roll on that soon. Another filmmaker named Dean Houlihan, which I'm sure you'll interview eventually, will be
Yes.
involved in that. So that'll be great. And I just want to say to filmmakers out there who like aren't where they think they should be or where they want to be, even if you made like a silly short film with your friends like 15 years ago, as long as one person watched it and chuckled and it made their day a little bit brighter, then to me, you're a successful filmmaker. And that's all that matters at the end of the day, you know?
Yes,
I,
I agree with you. Yeah, I appreciate that, and I agree with you 100% because not every film has to be a home run for everybody. If it connects with one person out of 100, then I feel like yeah, you've done something.
you're an artist. As long
Mhm.
as one person likes it, or even if one person doesn't like it, as long as they watched it,
Mhm.
that's all that matters.
Exactly, exactly. Whether you like it or not. Yeah.
Well, hey man, it was a great talking to you. I really appreciate it.
Oh, it was a pleasure, and thank you for hopping on and spending 20 minutes with me and talking about films and maybe we'll do this again in the future and we'll just bullshit about other films.
Oh yeah, for sure. We'll do it
Yes. All
anytime.
right. Great seeing you. You have a good rest of your night, man.
Bye man. Bye chat.
All right. Bye later. Later.